They came from all over the world with one purpose: reducing carbon emissions. With the world's temperatures increasing, COP17 is regarded as a decisive moment. Failure to address it could impact future generations. Delegates spent the week deliberating on issues to mitigate the effects of climate change. As host of the conference, President Zuma urged participants to take action.
Looking at your faces, you actually carry the solution. Thank you very much.
Newly elected COP17 president called on the delegates to be bold and show courage.
Durban is a decisive moment for the future of the multilateral rule-based regime, which has evolved over many years under the Convention and its Kyoto Protocol.
The outgoing president expressed concern about growing economic imbalances between rich and poor.
Hay millones de personas.
There are millions of people, most of them in the poorest and most vulnerable countries, whose future depends on our decisions. We cannot betray the trust they have placed in us.
The future of the Kyoto Protocol dominated discussions. It's the only existing legally binding framework on gas emissions. The protocol has been ratified by 193 countries of the 195 parties. Under the protocol, 37 states, consisting of highly industrialized countries and developing economies, have to adhere to emission targets. The main objective of both the UNFCCC and the Kyoto Protocol is to stabilize greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere to a level that will prevent dangerous human interference with the climate system. The first commitment of the protocol expires in December 2012, and governments are expected to agree on the second commitment in Durban. Two of the largest gas emitters, the US and China, have already expressed acknowledgement of the importance of the protocol. Although the US initially signed the first commitment but did not ratify, the negotiation team has pointed that it would not engage further with proposals for a second commitment until there is a clarity on the content of the text.
So I think that is important.
The EU called on all developed countries to show bold leadership.
The legally binding instrument will include mitigation commitments by all significant economies. All major economies would need to put their commitments to the map.
Other issues included technology and funding. Reference have been made to technology mechanism and the adaptation committee, which was agreed upon in Cancun. Officials said these must be completed in Durban so they can start benefiting people in 2012. The Climate Fund came to the fore with a particular reference to the $100 billion of long-term climate finance that developed countries have agreed to provide by 2020. African countries appealed for financial support for their adaptation programs.
We've seen leadership from the developed world on democracy. We've seen leadership on other issues, on terror. But we think the biggest and the largest terror Africa is facing now is climate change. And we want that seriousness, and we can't compromise on that. Thank you.
And then there was a civil society march.
We demand action and not terrorism. Durban can represent just a conference where everybody in the world came to have a nice time, a tea and a good hotel accommodation, and nothing more.
Lehana Tsuteti, SABC News, Durban.